so they want to use her while that ball is still new. So I can see why Kirsty uses Grace to that effect. And actually, by backing her, she picked up the wicket of Perrin, didn't she, with that last ball of the power play.
And now, as the 6th bowler in their attack, they bring on someone with one of the best strike rates in the competition this season in Heather Graham. It's down the leg side, good tape from Sarah Bryce. Graham will bowl sort of niggly wicket to wicket. We'll get it to nibble around a bit. Having a keeper of the quality of Sarah Bryce is really important for a bowler like Graham in particular. Traps a batter in their crease. Two full and smashed down the ground for 6. What a shot that is from Jones. What a way to get your first boundary of finals day as the skipper over pitch, but my goodness me, she took advantage.
Yeah, brilliant shot there by Eve. I think Graham just trying to take the pace off, which is definitely her strength as well, but on that occasion just 2 full, and Jones gets her hands through the ball beautifully and gets 6 runs, very, very well deserved.
So what's Graham's comeback like? Sparks, the Blazes' 2nd highest wicket taker this season, with 11 coming into today, and it says a lot about their depth that having won the group stage, she comes in as their 6th bowler used on finals day, which probably reflects why they won the group stage, with 9 wins from 10. What's Graham's reply like? It's a good reply, it's straight to short mid-wicket.
Yeah, she's taken 11 wickets and she's only played half the group game. She obviously came in as that replacement for de Klerk, who's gone back to play for South Africa. Yeah, not a bad overseas replacement to come in and hit the ground running like she has done.
It's out towards long on for 1. She has a strike rate of 9.4, Heather Graham, which is, I think you're into the outrageous category at that point. Bowling average of 9 as well.
Yeah, Blaze just taking their time now, having a few conversations about field sets. I think that's the beauty of Central Sparks' lineup as well, with the left-right hands throughout the order. It can be really flexible, and yes. Yeah, speaking from personal experience, a left-right.
That was my next question.
Left-right combination at the crease is
great fun.
Is a captain's nightmare.
To deal with that for 20 overs, lefties scattered across the batting lineup like pigeons on the outfield. Played out just to the left of cover. That will be 1 more for Freeborn. He was just building her innings before having the capacity to explode into life. One thing to keep an eye on with Abby Freeborn, she has one of the best strike rates in the competition between overs 11 and 15. She strikes at 158 in that spell of the game, so if she's worked her way into her innings by then, watch out. LBW appeals looked like it was swinging down leg.
Yeah, he sneaked through for a leg bye there as well. Good running from the Sparks batters. It's been a good over so far from Sparks, 9 off it with 1 ball to go. Graham will be wanting to close this out, get out of her over now.
Deep set onside field for Freeborn. Back of a length, nicely taken by Sarah Bryce. Looked like that got a little bit of extra bounce and kick up. So 9 overs gone. 75 for 2. This partnership building steadily for now.
Yeah, they had a couple of quieter overs building the partnership, but 9 off that last, and these two will be looking to accelerate going into the last 11 overs now. Looks like it's going to be spin continuing. Back to Hyam, who bowled in the power play.
Yeah, went for 12 off her 1 over. These two have added 21 off 3 so far. Blaze looking to make it 3 wins against Sparks in T20 cricket this season. They beat them by 10 runs back on the 31st of May, and then in the midweek Midlands matchup on Wednesday, won again. Just pushed back, no run. Beat them by 5 wickets with 4 balls to spare.
Yeah, I think this is a good matchup, a good decision from Kirsty Gordon. off spin to the left-handed Eve Jones should go in the off spinner's favour here. And
it has caught a good low catch. Wasn't an easy one for Hyam. Never is when off your own bowling. It was hit hard back and quite low. She's managed to scoop that up off the ground. We had the perfect view of it. Fingers very much underneath the ball, no doubt about it. 75 for 3, and Eve Jones, so often the rock, the anchor, the person around which this batting lineup is built for Sparks, has to go for 10 off 12. Came down the track, seemed to get caught in two minds. The bat turned in her hand a little bit as the bottom hand came through. Big wicket.
Yeah, huge wicket. Might have put the mockers on Eve there, unfortunately. But great low catch from Lucy Hyam. She's a great outfielder for Blaze, but brilliant take off your own bowling. And every chance that comes your way in a semi-final, you need to be taken. And Lucy's done that really well there.
So out comes Courtney Webb. 5 on her back and in at 5. 75 for 3 in the 10th. He's known as being a reasonably high-scoring ground, this one. Pitch doesn't seem to have too many demons in it thus far. Will be interesting to see, of course, how the wicket changes as the day goes on, with potentially up to 120 overs of cricket on it.
Yeah, it looks a good one at the moment. So, yeah, like you say, Michael, it will be interesting to see whether conditions do change throughout the day, particularly going into that final later this evening.
Hasn't got a 50 in the Charlotte Edwards Cup this season, but it's been a very consistent contributor, Webb. 152 runs at a healthy strike rate and an average of 25. He's just having a look at one there as well. He's a very talented AFL player as well. I had to give up playing for Carlton 5 years ago because of pursuing cricket. Was told in no uncertain terms that if she injured herself playing AFL, then that wouldn't really be accepted. Just drops her bat on that one and gets one into the offside. Played for Tasmania from 2016 to 2020 before moving to South Australia, and it's had a very successful first season at Sparks. You think you get a lot of overseas players that come and struggle to adapt to conditions initially, I should say. It's made consistent contributions. Plenty of flight on that one. Freeborn came down and just crashed that straight at mid-off. That's a frustrating sight for a batter.
It's pretty special to have.
Yeah, great intent there by Freeborn. They just lost the captain at the other end, but she's not changing the way that she plays.
And Freeborn has hit that one hard as well out to deep mid-wicket, but she will get just one, so it's a good comeback over from Hyam, who went for 12 from her first. She picks up the important scalp of Jones, caught and bowled, and concedes just 2 from her second. 77 for 3 off 10. And after some further thoughts from Sophie Luff, she'll be joined by Sam Dorling.
Yeah, great over by Lucy Hyam there. Under pressure, having her first over go for 12, but to come back in, get the big wicket of the Sparks captain, Eve Jones, and only go for a couple of runs as well. Crucial over at the halfway stage. It's going to be Catherine Bryce to come back into the attack. Catherine Bryce using 6 different options at the moment. Predominantly pace off. Catherine Bryce using 6 different options at the moment. Predominantly pace off. Catherine Bryce using 6 different options at the moment. Predominantly pace off.
At mid-on,
cut that off. 6 different options at the moment.
Down ground, there's a field halfway at mid-on, cut that off.
6 different options at the moment.
Down ground, there's a field halfway at mid-on,
yeah, she was 6 different options at the moment. I felt like Sparks.
Down ground, there's a field halfway at mid-on,
yeah, she was 6 different options at the moment. I felt like Sparks.
down ground, there's a field halfway at mid-on,
yeah, she was 6 different options at the moment. I'm sure they're going to
ground, there's a field halfway at mid-on,
yeah, she was 6 different options at the moment. I'm sure they're going to
ground, there's a field halfway at mid-on,
Blaze. Yeah, she played 6 different options. No, for sure they'll be able to spark change.
halfway at
Blaze. Yeah, she played 6 different options. No, for sure they'll be able to spark change.
halfway at
Blaze. Yeah, she played 6 different options. No, for sure they'll be able to spark change.
halfway at
Blaze. Yeah, she played 6 different options. No, for sure they'll be able to spark change.
halfway at
Blaze. Yeah, she played 6 different options. No, for sure they'll be able to spark change.
halfway at
Blaze. Yeah, she played 6 different options. No, for sure they'll be able to spark change.
halfway at
Blaze. Yeah, she played 6 different options. No, for sure they'll be able to spark change.
halfway at
Yeah, she played 6 different options. No, for sure they'll be able to spark change.
Sophie fielding in on the square because they're really hard and the ball just takes odd bounces, doesn't it? Ella Claridge couldn't quite get down to that one.
Yeah, just seemed to skid on a little bit off those used wickets there. It's never a great place to be fielding. Yeah, interestingly, you know, I'd probably be sitting on the ring to someone like Freeborn. You know, if she's dropping and running, you're probably winning at this stage of the game, rather than her sort of beating you.
Pace off again. This time she hits it straight at Marie Kelly. They come through for a single. It's going to be run out. It's going to be run out. Good bit of work by Ella Claridge, who is down on her knees because she realises it wasn't a great throw.
I was going to say it's better work from Catherine Bryce. Does really well. Talk about it all the time, but bowlers trying to get back to the stumps to affect run-outs, and Bryce did that brilliant there. It wasn't the best of throws from Claridge, admittedly, but they've affected a run-out, and Freeborn's gone. It's a big wicket for Blaze.
You see there, Kelly does well initially. But yes, there's going to be a run out. 4th wicket down. 85 for Freeborn, who we just said was looking key to this innings. It wasn't a great run. That I know sometimes in T20 you play tip and run. It wasn't really a tip, was it? She hit it straight at her quite hard. No,
I was just saying, you know, if Freeborn's trying to drop and run, you're probably winning, and resulted in a wicket there. Yeah, that's a big one for the Blaze. Feel like they're taking wickets at regular intervals now, which is just stemming the momentum that Sparks had gained in that power play. And it looks like it's going to be Katie George in at 6 for Sparks. Lots of experience. Obviously, we'll see her bowl some left arm seam in the other innings, but she's got a job to do here with the bat first and foremost.
Yeah, and that was the end of the over. So 11 overs gone, 85 for 4. Good to see Catherine Bryce do that, because I watched the first game up at Trent Bridge between these two sides, and there was a viral clip where Catherine Bryce was about a yard away from the stumps and had an underarm throw and somehow managed to miss them. And I think she took a little bit of stick in the dressing room. So I think she's made up for it in the semi-final.
Yeah, I did see that.
Courtney Webb on strike. There's Josie Groves. Where's that? Leg spin. Field as you would expect at this stage of the game. So deep square leg, deep mid wicket, long on. Fielder out, a deep cover too. Oh, and she's bowled it. Gave that one a little bit of flight. I always like that from a spinner at this stage of the game. Was there a little bit of bottom edge?
Yeah, I think she's chopped that on.
From Courtney Webb. I think it went straight on. She has to go for just 3. 2 wickets in the space of 3 balls, and the Sparks are reading a little bit at 85 for 4.
I think that's actually George that's gone.
Oh, sorry.
We've been done over by the you've been done over by the screen here, Sam, that says that Webb's on strike. But yeah, George goes without scoring. Does like to cut Katie George, just too full and not enough width there to be getting her hands through it. And they've taken wickets at regular intervals, and this Sparks innings is stalling at the moment.
Yeah, it really is. Big smiles on the faces of the Blaze fielders. Those are the sort of moments in a game of T20 when things can be just meandering along nicely and suddenly the game changes in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I mean, they've still got 8 and a bit overs to go here as well, but 5 down. Really need these two to get a partnership together. Obviously, Courtney's out there. She's got a lot of experience. I think she came over here last year with Australia A. So she knows conditions, and she's had a good run of form at Sparks so far since she's been here. But they really need her to step up and get a partnership with the youngster.
It's going to be Karis Pavley out, left-hander. So a bit of work for Kirsty Gordon to think about her fields. Josie Groves is going to come around the wicket. Just taking a moment to get the field right. Long on, deep mid-wicket, deep square leg, deep cover.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're still using the 4 out here, Blaze. I'd be tempted to get long on up and put a bit more pressure. They've just lost 3 wickets in the space of 3 overs.
That one's a little bit wider, and it's one of those balls that as a batter afterwards you think, I really wish I'd left that, because you've got it wide an extra ball, and actually all she's done is squirted it out to point, and it goes down as a dot.
Yeah, she did well to reach that, actually.
Again, I think she's got away with one a little bit there. Josie Groves turned into the leg side. Karis Pavley wants a couple. Courtney Webb says, absolutely not. We do not want to lose another wicket now. This feels like a time where, I know it's odd because it's a T20, but there are moments where you have to rebuild a little bit.
Yeah, definitely need a partnership here. Yeah, like you say, even though it's T20, partnerships are crucial.
Webb uses her feet. It's a good over from Groves. She's bowled a couple of overs, 1 for 7. Sparks are reeling a little bit here. 86 for 5, 12 overs gone.
Yeah, like I said, the importance of a partnership here for Sparks is going to be crucial. They, need wickets in hand still going into the last 3-4 overs. I think that's the thing when you lose wickets continuously through your innings. Ultimately they'll want Courtney here to probably be a set batter towards the back end, and the girls coming in to try and give it a whack around her. They've still got some good ball strikers in the shed. Emily Arlett to come can hit a long ball. So yeah, if these two can bat for the next 3-4 overs, get them to 16, 17 overs, then they can probably kick on again from there.
Kirsty Gordon's turned back to Lucy Hyam, who we saw open the bowling. Spin at both ends now, around the wicket to Karis Pavley.
Yeah, Kirsty's looked to use Lucy really well, actually. I think they've done a lot of scouting, matchups. She's definitely come on when there's been a left-hander on strike.
Pavley just trying to get her away, but can't. Straight to Marie Kelly at mid-wicket. She's got 7 wickets in the tournament so far, Lucy Hyam, but her economy rate is impressive, just 6.41, and she often bowls in the power play as well, up top. This time, Pavley will get one.
Yeah, great footwork there, using the depth of the crease. Enables her to get it out to deep cover, get off strike, bit of breathing space at the other end.
Courtney Webb, feels like a lot rests on her here. Uses her feet, goes over the top. That's a lovely stroke. She got right to the pitch of the ball. It's going to bounce once and just go over the rope. Kirsty Gordon, the skipper for the Blaze, just has to run down in front of the Flames, down to the left of the media centre. Nice stroke.
Yeah, brilliant shot there from Courtney Webb. Brave option, mid-off up though, and beautiful strike.
She was playing that away from her a little bit as well. This time gets it finer to Ballinger at fine leg, but they do take a single. It's almost tip and run, isn't it now? If you sweep it to short fine leg, it's such a difficult position to field, anything square of the wicket. Do you ever find yourself at, or put yourself at square leg or short fine? I bet you don't.
I did field at short fine leg for a lot of the CEC last year when I'd come back from a broken thumb. I was trying to hide myself, but it was the worst place ever.
Around the wicket, Yorkshire. Oh, she gets it away though, Pavley. Marie Kelly down in front of us at long on. We'll keep it to just a single. End of the 13th over then. Sparks 93 for 5. Karis Pavley is unbeaten on 3. Courtney Webb has 8.
Yeah, good over from Sparks in terms of just trying to build that partnership. Really good option from Courtney Webb. Actually caused a field change from the Blaze skipper after she'd cleared mid-off. They brought cover up. I guess that's the beauty in the women's game. You can only have 4 fielders on the boundary, and yeah, you're always trying to look for that 5th option.
Groves is going to continue around the wicket, I think, to the left-handed Pavli. Into her 3rd over. Just gone for the 7 runs so far. She's been tidy. Oh, and she's missed that one, and it's a brilliant bit of work behind the stumps from Sarah Bryce into the what they call the bread basket, and the Sparks lose their 6th wicket. High fives, all smiles, Sophie Luff for the Blaze. 93 for 6.
Yeah, I was just saying that they've just sort of consolidated getting that partnership going, and not sure what Pavli was trying to do there. Obviously used her feet, but ended up not getting real close enough to it in terms of the line of the delivery, and Groves has bowled brilliantly so far and gets another reward.
Yeah, routine stumping for Sarah Bryce. She isn't going to miss those. And if we go back to the ball before the end of the power play, 54 for 1, the Sparks were only thinking about that. This is setting up for a really big total. You've 160, 170, maybe 180. So I think the Blaze, as they have been all season, have been really impressive, pulling it back in the middle.
Yeah, absolutely. Kirsty's rotated her bowlers really well, and they've taken wickets at regular intervals, which has just stemmed the momentum that Central Sparks gained in that power play. Wickets just kill you in T20, and Blaze have been able to get themselves back into the game.
They kill you unless you're taking them. Emily Harlett out into the middle. Not batted much this season. Groves just loops that one up. I like that. Gives it a bit of flight. Just says, go on.
Yeah, it's a brave option, and why not at this stage when you've got the side 93 for 6.
Just dabbed into the offside. Big gap at extra cover. Picks up a single.
Arlett's got a lot of experience as well. Probably see her open the bowling, but yeah, her experience here with 6 and a bit overs to go is going to be crucial for the Sparks.
Courtney Webb goes inside out over extra cover. That is lovely. Sign of a real quality player, that. Just uses her feet, gets to the pitch of the ball. I don't know about you, Sophie Luff, but there's nothing I enjoy better than a shot that goes inside out over extra cover.
Yeah, absolutely. Great option to a leg spinner or a left arm orthodox. Used her feet really nicely. Groves being brave again, tossing it up, and Courtney Webb helps herself to another boundary.
I wonder if she's brought AFL into the warm-up. Put that soccer ball away. Here's a football for you. Long off is going out. Deep square leg is coming up to Courtney Webb. The deep mid wicket, long on, long off. Deep extra. Pushes it into a gap. They'll think about 2, but I don't think they'll come back, and they were right not to. Heather Graham does the fielding out there. 1 ball left in the 14th. That'll be the Central Sparks 100 up. So 14 overs gone. Sophie Luff is going to take a quick break, and Fee Morris is going to come in alongside me. If you're just joining us on the YouTube, welcome. What a day's cricket we've got here at Derby. And if you're local, why not pop down? Still a long day. 2 semi-finals and a final. Hello, Fee, how are you?
Hello, I'm all good, thank you. It's been an interesting start today, isn't it?
Hasn't it just? I thought they were going away with it, the Blaze. They were going along nicely.
Yeah.
Sorry, the Sparks.
Yeah.
The Blaze have done really well to pull it back.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I thought Amy Campbell and Dav Perrin looked brilliant up front and really took the attack to the Blaze, but they're a team that really digs in, and they've got a wily captain in Kirsty Gordon who somehow finds a way to take a few wickets. So, yeah, they pulled it back nicely here.
Yeah, she's having a brilliant season. Kirsty Gordon brings herself back on. 20 wickets so far she's got at 12s.
I think she's become a bit of a genuine all-rounder, hasn't she, as well, Kirsty? So.
Dabs it into the offside. Does Arlott picks up a single. We've been following each other around as well, I think, since last. We were both at the same gig last night, apparently, weren't we?
We were, yeah. Green Day at Emirates Old Trafford. It's a good life, isn't it?
Well, you know.
I think it's the benefit of getting knocked out early, I think, in the tournament.
Cuts it off the back foot. That's a nice looking stroke from Courtney Webb. There's a fielder out there, Michaela Kirk, at deep cover, but she can't get around to that one. It was too square.
Yeah, it's flying across that square as well, isn't it, here? It's a little bit downhill out there as well, so I think anything into the outfield looks like you're getting real value for your shots. Yeah, it's a lovely shot from Courtney Webb.
If Courtney Webb can bat for these next 5 and a bit overs, Blaze might just be able to set a decent total. Not sure I've ever seen Kirsty Gordon take those sunglasses off.
No, she doesn't.
Fires that one in.
Yeah,
Webb.
she's a fiery character, Kirsty Gordon. So
Hiding the rage in her eyes.
Exactly. Yeah. You get that stare. Maybe it's just hiding that from getting a few level ones. But yeah, she's a tough competitor, Kirsty. She's a great girl off the pitch, but on the pitch, I'm not sure she's my favourite person ever. But yeah, she always finds a way.
A brilliant captain. That Scottish core of this Blaze side.
Yeah, she really is. She's a great captain. Always very attacking, always thinking about taking wickets, and she does that. So yeah, doesn't spin it big, but gets the job done, definitely.
Turned into the leg side by Arlott for just a single, so 15 overs gone, 107 for 6. Fee, I'm going to leave you. Sorry, nothing you've done. It's just a rota. And Charles Dagnall is going to come in alongside you.
Thanks for having me.
Five to go then for the Central Sparks. Lost their way after quite an impressive power play. Davina Perrin, Amy Campbell getting the Sparks off to a flyer, but well dragged back by the Blaze. And Josie Groves to bowl her last over. She's been hugely impressive, 2 for 14 so far.
She gives it a nice bit of flight, Josie Groves, and it looks like on this pitch that seems to be doing the job. I think Sparks has just struggled to come down to her and hit her straight. I think that's got to be the plan to her.
Josie Groves, I remember watching her in the... by the way, good morning. It still is morning. Fee, great to have you alongside us on commentary. Your first time?
It is, yeah, making my debut on finals day. It's a jump in the deep end, isn't it?
Wow. Knew you'd be able to cope. No problems.
Can talk a good game, so...
Having to deal with us is the problem. Smartly taking every opportunity you can just to build. Yeah, I remember watching Josie Groves in the Under-19 World Cup. Was hugely impressed with what we saw. 2 really impressive young leg spinners, her and Hannah Baker, who we're going to see in the bowling innings for the Central Sparks. Was one thing that really was noticeable about Josie Groves in that competition, Fee.
Is that her mum by any chance?
It was her mother.
I can see her up there, actually. She's at Long On at the moment, isn't she?
God, you got better eyes than I do.
You can spot that flag anywhere, can't you? The Blaze flag. Right
Trying
up
to
at the
look
top.
into the distance.
Right up at the top.
Oh,
next
there
to
she
the
is.
Yeah, dancing
We'll try
away.
and get one of the cameras to focus on Josie Groves' mum. One thing she did was basically dance throughout the entire competition.
Love that. Absolutely love that. You've got to enjoy the game, haven't you?
Fantastic support for the side. Must have been absolutely shattered come evening time. Bit more air this time.
Yeah, you'll have a few glasses of Prosecco and a little dance at the cricket. What more could you ask for, eh?
You're able to say what her intake of liquid is. I wouldn't like to guess.
Ooh.
Missed opportunity, I fancy.
Yeah, one of those difficult ones that's just gone under the bat. never been a keeper myself, but I reckon they're the hardest ones. You kind of lose sight of it, don't you?
Yeah, just getting a little bit shaded out by the batter going towards the ball. End of the 16th over, 109 for 6. A lovely day out in Derby as well. T-shirts, hats, not
gorgeous,
many jumpers.
No, it's all right. I've just been sat on the stands myself. It's
There she
lovely.
is.
There she is.
There she is. You can see just at the back, orange top, blaze-coloured top.
It's, playing in orange is usually quite good for the crowd, isn't it? You can tell who's there. Although we've got a few Vipers fans out there today as well, so hard to guess who's Vipers fans and who's Blaze fans at this point.
It's not like I've been watching it. I've not been keeping across the Euros football much. But when Holland play, it's just that sea of orange.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Maybe one day.
England start playing in orange just for the just for the fans.
Heather Graham. Just the one over to her name, but back into the attack. Cost 9 runs. Just taking a look. What are they going to be looking at now, the Sparks? 150. What, that'd be 10 and over from here.
I think a lot rides on Courtney Webb, doesn't it? She's looked good so far. She had a pretty decent start to the year.
Now that's into space. Could be 4. Quick outfield here at Derby Andes.
It's a great shot. And Marlott can hit a very long ball. She's got long levers, a lot of experience. Really hard to bowl, actually, Marlott. And there's a bit of a height difference between the two as well, which always makes a bit of a difference. But yeah, you don't really want to bowl anything in Marlott's arc. I've seen her hit a few over my head in my time. So yeah, keep it out of her arc. I think that's the way to go with her.
Yeah, long levers, Marlott. Very useful in the lower middle order.
Yeah, I sometimes think she bats a bit low, actually, Marlott. But she's done a really good job for them coming in kind of down the order this year, and I always think, oh, maybe she could bat a little bit higher, but I think to have someone like Marlott coming in at 8 when you're 6 down and got 4 overs to go, it's not a bad place to be, really, is it, as a Central Sparks team?
Deep cover just moving a little bit straighter.
Spot bowled.
Just taking out the deep field. Long on, long off. There's a deep mid-wicket and a boundary rider on the cover boundary as well. So paddles are potentially on. Fine leg and third are up inside the circle.
I think that's a good field to Marlott.
Uppish and straight into the waiting hands of the Blaze captain, Kirsty Gordon, at extra cover. Looking to try and get the elevation was Arlott. She got a good piece of it, but straight down the captain's throat, and Arlott has to depart.
Yeah, she struck that really nicely. That's somewhere she gets caught a little bit, is Arlott, because she just hits through the ball there. Always quite a key catching position at extra cover. And yeah, nicely taken there by Kirsty Gordon.
Receiving the congratulations from England international Tammy Beaumont. So 114 for 7, and what I'm sure the Central Sparks have to be wary of is not letting this innings capitulate. Providing support to Courtney Webb, who's playing nicely. 24 from 17 deliveries is the Melbourne Renegade. Carlton AFL footballer, although that's had to take a back seat.
I didn't know that about her, actually. That's a good one to know. Sometimes where games are won and lost, isn't it, during these last kind of 3 overs, if they can get up to 130, 140, it's a really competitive score, especially in a finals day when the pressure's on. But yeah, like you said, Daggers, if they capitulate here and go to kind of 120, then it's really on for the Blaze.
Well, you're talking about Courtney Webb, and obviously the depth of Australian cricket is huge. You know, Courtney Webb not yet managed to make it into international colours, and there's so many on the fringes, which shows you the sort of standard domestic cricket over in Australia and how far ahead they are of other countries. Nicely bowled from Graham. But the other thing is their availability to come over and play in this competition, strengthening it as well. End of the 17th, 114 for 7.
Yeah, definitely. I think it shows how strong they are when pretty much every overseas in the country at the moment is an Aussie, and they've all done really well. You know, you've got Amanda Jade Wellington that's been taking wickets for fun. You've got Charlie Knott that's been scoring runs for fun. It's great for us to see as well. You know, I did a few weeks over in Sydney this winter training with the New South Wales Breakers and felt like I learned a lot from that, a lot about the sort of professionalism of the game. And
how did that come about? Was that stemming from you, or did the Thunder sort of send you over there, or are there links between the clubs?
Yeah, we've basically got it's sort of like an exchange program with the Breakers. So they send 2 players over to us every summer for a few weeks, and we send 2 over to them. I think I'd rather be on our end of it. I'd rather go to Sydney than Manchester, but it was a good few. Me and Ellie Threlkow just shared a 2-bed flat and had a great time for 6 weeks. So yeah, it was really valuable for us.
Gordon back into the attack. Her final over. I think that's fantastic, and getting the opportunity to go over, experience new conditions, maybe, well, just learn different things about your own game in those different Australian hard surfaces. And
definitely, it's not as much fun being a spinner, but it's definitely good to bat on them.
You say that, but I'm sure that, like I say, as a spinner, you're maybe not getting so other aspects of your game actually are heightened. Maybe a bit of control or different flights and lengths and that sort of thing that you're bowling because of maybe a lack of turn out there, that you can adapt into conditions back home.
Yeah, definitely. And I look at someone like Nathan Lyon, who in my mind is one of the best off spinners there's ever been. I absolutely love his action. He's a bit of a bowling hero of mine, and you know, he's grown up playing his cricket in Sydney, which doesn't turn big, but like you said, it's almost like overtraining. You know, you learn how to bowl on pitches that aren't conducive to spin, and then when you bowl on a pitch that is, it's even better.
Just content to knock it around here. The Sparks, it's that precarious position of wanting to attack but knowing that you've only got 3 wickets in the hutch.
Yeah, and if there's one bowler I wouldn't want to be facing in this position, it's Kirsty Gordon.
Oh, and that has been absolutely smoked straight into Grace Potts. And I think she might end up with a badge of honour on the forearm, or maybe the bicep.
Yeah, I think that's hit her right on the shoulder, isn't it? She's hit that really nicely, can't you? I'd be fuming if I'd hit that for a top ball.
Well, she's just denied a single.
I haven't middled one like that all year, so I'd be raging.
I think the right bicep of Grace Potts might just... Well,
she looks brave, Potsy. She'll be all right. She put a hard face on.
There's always the old coaches. Don't show them. Don't show them the pain. No, I'm fine. Get off. The trainer's coming on.
Yeah, she's waving her off.
Waving her off. I'm absolutely fine.
I think she is fine. I think that just hit her on the arm. I think she'll be all right.
Bit of spray, something like that. So a little bit of a delay in proceedings just while Grace Potts gets a bit of treatment, the magic sponge. There we go. Isn't that nice of her, just showing us exactly where it hit?
She's loving that. Potsy gets a tensor bicep. She's happy as Larry with that on camera, isn't she?
we just had a great view. There you go. Flex again.
She's been in the gym.
Good young bowler, Grace Potts. How about you and the Thunder this year?
Yeah, it's been an interesting year. Obviously, would have loved to have been here today. It's nice to be commentating, but would have loved to have been out there in the middle. Yeah, we've had some really good performances and some really positive stuff, but we've had three of the worst games that I think I've ever played in actually this year. So yeah, it's been a bit up and down. Yeah. But yeah, I think we've got a new coach in. We've got a bit of a different mindset to how we play cricket, and I think it's just going to take a little bit of time for that to settle in, but I've got full faith in us.
Yeah, the 60 all out in the last game didn't probably send the season into the sunset as you would have wanted.
Yeah, I was saying earlier, my brother actually came to watch that game with his wife, and she had never been to a game of cricket before, and I don't think she's going to be coming back, actually. I think she's one and done.
Not sold it to her. End of the 18th over. 2 remain then for the Central Sparks, and the Blaze doing a nice job of just restricting the Sparks as they want to try and open up. I think now Fee, alongside me, Fee Morris, best ever figures in the 100 competition as well, at 5 for 7 against the Birmingham Phoenix at Old Trafford last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, thanks, Taggers. I'll give you that tenner later.
That's all right. I just can't read your handwriting in the note that you passed to me.
Yeah, it's my debut, actually, for Manchester Originals. It was a good start. It was,
kept your place after that one.
Yeah, no, it was a good day. It was one of those days that you just had to bowl straight and then see what happened, and luckily I managed to get a few. A day I won't forget, actually, a day I will probably remember for the rest of my life. It was a very, very good day.
Yeah, we were there. It was great to watch as well, see your success. So, Grace Ballinger it will be to bowl the penultimate over. Left arm seamer, 1 for 21 off her 3. Was a little, sprayed it a little bit in the power play, but has come back well. Round the wicket she's going to come. Oh, that'll be 4. You cannot bowl width. Especially at this, you can see what she's trying to do. She's trying to bowl wide Yorkers. She hasn't got the field for it. If that's the line you're going to bowl, you probably want to take one of your leg side fielders from the boundary edge and stick them over on the offside, because that is free runs for Webb.
I don't know if she's just overcomplicating it a little bit there and kind of going... I don't know if she's meant to bowl a wide Yorker with the field that she's got, but I think they've just got to bowl straight at this stage.
Well, it looks like a field for full, but full and straight, as you mentioned. There's a deep extra cover, a long off, a long on, and a deep mid-wicket. She's decided to go back over the wicket this time. Yeah, and it's full. That's the plan.
Yeah, I think she's obviously missed her length there, but because she's got a line right, it's only gone for 1. And that's the importance of T20 in getting your line right. It's absolutely vital. The more balls you can bowl to hit the stumps, the better. We just get a percentage every game of how many balls we've bowled hitting the stumps, and that's kind of what you measure yourself on as a bowling unit.
Slightly different now. If Grace Potts' long off has come up. Another fielder on the leg side boundary. And has that got the distance? No, it doesn't.
Good catch.
Straight into the hands of Catherine Bryce, who makes no mistake at mid-off. And just felt it was a little toey from Potts. She has to depart. The shot was correct. It was the right shot to play for the ball that was delivered, but just couldn't quite get the execution.
Yeah, I think she'll be a bit disappointed there, Grace Potts. It was a little bit in the slot, actually. Maybe should have gone, but it was a good catch from Catherine Bryce. They're always quite hard, those ones running back. Quite sunny out here today, so it's always adds a bit of spice to the catch. But yeah, she's taken that nicely.
Yeah, you can just see how the bat twisted in the bottom hand from Potts, and had she got a little bit more of it, that would have scooted straight over the top of Bryce and away for 4. But as it is, Ballinger picks up her second wicket. Webb still remaining. And now Georgia Davis comes to the middle, and I think the most important thing for the Central Sparks now, Fee, is to give Courtney Webb as much of the strike as possible in these remaining 9 deliveries.
Definitely. I think if they can somehow get themselves up to 140, I think that's actually a pretty competitive score on. It doesn't look like an absolute road. And I think the strength of this Sparks team is probably their bowling. So I think 140 is definitely defendable. I'd say 125 maybe isn't so much. So yeah, it's quite an important 9 balls coming up.
Ballinger, 3 balls to go for her. And that's a good start. Got to be quick, but I think Bryce is going to keep hold of it. Allow the single to be taken, and now again, Webb's just got to take a look now. 2 deliveries left. So important for her to be on strike for the start of the final over.
She'd be wanting a boundary and then a 1 here. I think that's kind of the ideal outcome for Courtney Webb. If she can get a boundary off this ball, I think that'd be perfect for her.
I think she might be thinking extra cover here, Courtney Webb, or another one backward a point. Just falling short. Out at long on. the onrushing Marie Kelly. Come back for a second. Really good running from Georgia Davis at the non-strikers. Shouldn't really have been two, and Marie Kelly was just betwixt and between. Shall I catch it? Shall I stop it? And in the end, she did manage to stop it, but it fumble allowed them to come through for that second run.
They're always horrible, those ones, aren't they? Especially a little bit down the slope here at Derby. Just bounced right in front of her and she wasn't quite able to collect it cleanly.
Oh, now potential for no ball here. Yeah, I think it's going to get called, and this is an expensive delivery from Ballinger. Once again, carved through backward point. The width allowed for Courtney Webb to hit through it, and to add insults to injury, that will be a waist-high no ball. It's also her first warning. Won't make a great deal of difference, you would have thought, because it is the final delivery of her 4 overs, but free hit now, and so it's a slightly different complexion on the situation, as Courtney Webb can try and launch, and then rather than keeping the strike for the start of the final over, she has got license here. What's coming? Free hit. Swing and a miss. That's the worst possible result for Courtney Webb and the Central Sparks, as it is.
That's a fine in a club game, isn't it?
It is.
Isn't a free
That's
hit.
a pound into the team kitty. End of the 19th over. 132 for 8.
She's done a really good job here, Courtney Webb. She's we've played Sparks, I think, 3 times this year already, and in every game she's kind of started a little bit slowly and just kind of worked it round, and then all of a sudden has just gone, and she's been quite hard to stop. She hits over mid-off really, really nicely. I think because of the shape of her bat face, finds that a little bit easier. And yeah, on a couple of occasions that we've played against her, we've probably not adapted to that quick enough, but it looks like the Blaze have put a long off out of her quite a few times today, so they've kind of blocked that off, but she's found another way of scoring a few.
Well, it will be Heather Graham to bowl the final over for the Blaze. Third and fine up inside the circle, so a similar type of field to what we saw in the previous over. Long on and long off are out. 6 balls remain, and that is just fine. If you're a fan of the Central Sparks, gets Courtney Webb back on strike.
I'm assuming these two will have played against each other a few times over in Australia as well, so there'll be a little bit of bragging rights at the end of this over, I think.
Yeah, all Australian affair. Glorious conditions. Don't forget, it's the first of the 2 semi-finals. No eliminator this year. Proper finals day. 3 games throughout the course of the day. Swing and a miss, and that could be at least a couple for the Central Sparks. The Vipers against the South East Stars. 2:30 start. Final this evening at 6:45. Make sure you join us throughout the day here on the ECB YouTube channel.
Looks like Courtney Webb's just shaping up to go over square leg here. I wouldn't surprise me if she steps across and kind of tries to sweep her over there. I was completely wrong, but
Welcome to commentary, Fee Morris. Now they're coming back for the second. This will be run out.
that's really good running, I think.
And sacrificing herself, Georgia Davis, so that Courtney Webb can remain on strike. Fairly confident that the batter's crossed, so the 8th wicket falls. Davis trudges off, but for the team cause, 135 for 8.
Yeah, definitely the right thing to do at this stage. I think last over you've got to be going for those 2s, and you never know. A little bit of a fumble, but yeah, it was good fielding out there. It was a good throw. Is that Hannah Baker coming in now?
Fairly simple work done out in the deep, and she was only out by, I would say, 6 or 7 yards.
They'd only just crossed actually by the time she'd taken the bails out. That would have been really unfortunate if they hadn't crossed at all, but yeah, selfless batting there from Georgia Davies. We love to see that.
Yeah, knowing the match situation. 4 balls to go. I just wonder about this. She tried a couple of hacks across the line, not connected, and I just wonder if it actually... She plays through backward of square pretty well. And rather than actually trying to blaze the ball away, if she just uses a bit of the pace of Heather Graham, she could be a little bit more productive. This has been a good final over so far. Inside out. Straight down the throat of extra cover, shelled. Josie Groves, I think it is, in that deep position. How costly that will be, oh, we shall wait and see, but a couple picked up.
Always tricky ones on the deep cover boundary. Tend to get a little bit of slice on it, a little bit of spin, and sometimes you can feel like the ball is going away from you. But yeah, definitely should have taken that one out there.
Final ball then. Webb 43 from 30. And nicely bowled, brilliantly bowled. Oh, now could be a free run available. Bit of clouded thinking. And they might even get back for a second. They will. From what should have been no runs and an easy run out, the Central Sparks have managed to get themselves up to that 140 figure that Fee Morris was talking about. All manner of chaos going out into the middle. A very fine Yorker from Heather Graham. Fielded off herself and then decided to have a dart. She could have walked it to the stumps and taken the wicket as it is. The throw missed, allowing to come through, and then another wayward throw, or difficult one to pick up.
That was a really interesting 20 overs, wasn't it? I thought Sparks had a really good start, a really shambolic kind of middle 10 overs, and then a really good end. So, yeah, I think they're going into the break with a little bit of momentum behind them. It was a great innings from Courtney Webb.
Well, the graphic said wicket. It wasn't. They didn't collect the ball cleanly, and so they managed to come up with a couple of runs at the end. So the final over going for 7 runs, the run out in between, and the Central Sparks finish on 140 for 9. Courtney Webb 45 not out from 31 deliveries. Excellent innings after a very good power play, even though they lost a wicket on the final ball of that power play. 54 for 2. They got off to a bit of a flyer with Freeborn and Perrin, but 140 for 9. Would you say what, par?
Yeah, I think par. I think on a finals day, anything above a run a ball actually on finals day just puts a little bit of pressure on. It looked like it was a little bit easier to score early on with a bit of a harder ball. And
So welcome back to the run chase of the first semi-final. We're all ready for the resumption. Tammy Beaumont and Marie Kelly are out there. Kelly in particular will be feeling very good about facing the Sparks, having had a thumping knock against them in midweek. Emily Arlett to bowl the first ball of the reply, which is short. Pulled away out through deep backward square for 2. Was it initially misfielded out there, and a bit of luck in the sense that Katie George was rapidly following him behind to make up for Hannah Baker's error. That's where you really need your teammates, isn't it, Sophie Luff?
Yeah, you want to start really well in the field as well. Good awareness from George to get round the rope as well, but Baker probably should have done a little bit better to get that one back in.
Well, once more back of her length. This is never around the corner. More work for Baker. This time we'll keep it to 1. By all accounts, got a very impressive, particularly seam bowling unit, the Central Sparks. It has been a big part of them making it to finals day. Intriguing early battle here with Emily Arlett charging in. She has the 4th most wickets in the competition, and she has the most wickets of any bowler who's not a spin bowler in the competition this season.
And a hat-trick.
And a hat-trick against the Stars in an epic win against Canterbury. At Canterbury. It's just pushed into the offside. Yeah, that was very much sort of Emily Arlett's kind of main character era, if you want to get all Taylor Swift about it. She smashed 19 off 7 at the death to win the game, having already taken a hat-trick to keep Stars relatively quiet with the bat, taking 4 for 21.
Yeah, she's a really consistent performer on the regional circuit.
Just worked her way straight to short mid-wicket. Very consistent with her line and length, as is Grace Potts as well. Consistently provide a threat up top.
Yeah, both tall girls. Em Arlett will look to hit the pitch really hard, and Potts will try and get some lateral movement on the ball. I presume she will take the new ball from the other end. But yeah, in the meantime, Arlett trying try and get some bounce and carry out of this pitch.
Kelly's first ball. She's striking that well, but straight to short mid-wicket. No run to show for it.
Yeah, Arlett's got a deep square. Katie George out there and a third man. Kelly yet to score. Face 3 balls.
Full whipped away leg side, and that won't be cut off. First boundary of the reply. That's a confident shot from Marie Kelly, who against these very same opponents in midweek thrashed 89 not out in victory. And now she's off and underway in the run chase.
Yeah, great shot there from Marie. Just airing a bit leg side. Arlett there, and Blaze have started really well. 7 off the first here, and like I said, it is going to be Potts to take the new ball from the other end.
So 7 without loss after the first then, and it looks like, as predicted, it will be Grace Potts, who nearly half the competition, the balls she's bowled in the competition this season have been dots. That is exceptional. She's got George in a wide slip position here as she charges in. Starts with an uncharacteristic wide. That is the commentator's curse. I will take full responsibility for that delivery.
Yeah, I think Katie George has taken a couple of speckies in a similar position throughout the season so far. One for a little bit of mayo is Katie.
Is that a phrase? Is that a phrase people use?
Yeah, if you put a bit of mayo on it.
Swipe and a miss outside the off stump from Beaumont.
And she won't mind me saying it because she would say it herself.
Yeah, she's an exceptional fielder. I've watched her take some brilliant catches out in the deep as well as in the ring. There's not too many fielders who are equally as good in different parts of the ground, and she's one of the few that you could say that about. Nice shape from Potts, and Beaumont is with a bit of uncertainty, just jabbing into her pad. That's a good area to be in. So just to give you the specificity for those who love that, thanks to a friend of mine, Critica, who's an analyst in the WPL, was having a good look through some numbers for me. Grace Potts, almost 48% of her balls in the competition this season have been dots. She's extremely good at building pressure, banging away on a line and length with real consistency. That's short down the leg side, and that's gone away through fine leg for 4.
You've done it again.
Yeah, I take full responsibility for this, Sparks fans, if you're watching. But all jokes aside, it's a nice tuck away for Beaumont. A player of her class just isn't going to miss out on a ball like that.
Yeah, I think what Tammy does really well is she uses the crease well. The previous ball she didn't get Potts away, but she walked at her, trying to put the bowler off her length and put Potts under pressure. And yeah, like you say, a player of Tammy's calibre is not going to miss out on a delivery like that.
I guess that's also the difference of maybe facing a top-class international. They're not going to let you settle in of bowling a consistent line and length. Test out Potts' ability to go to her variations more, you'd think. George has come into short fine leg out from that catching position. Beaumont comes down the pitch this time, just covers up.
Yeah, again there, Tammy trying to show intent with her footwork. Not getting it away, but definitely trying to change the length that Potts is looking to bowl. And I guess that's probably been the key to someone like Grace Potts' success, is her ability to hit that consistent area more often than not.
Comes down the pitch this time, gets that away through extra cover. 4 more for Tammy Beaumont, settling into her rhythm nicely. 2 boundaries from the over now.
Yeah, struck nicely there from Tammy. Created the length perfectly there, and she's going to hit that nice and hard. Use the the quickness off the square here at Derby, and